All rise. Judge Vanda B. Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1030, Armstrong case.
Thank you. You're welcome. You all may be seated. Okay, Mrs. Armstrong.
Yes, Ms. Judge.
Okay, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Miss Tally over here, we decided to have a baby together about 3 years ago. And we got a divorce. And now I just need her to pay some child support.
Okay. Well, you guys are going through a divorce, right?
Well, yes, sorry, we're going through a divorce. I wish it was over already. But I've been paying health care for a long time, ever since the baby was born.
How much is the health care?
It's $111 a month.
Okay.
This baby is 2 years old. We've been together for about 3 years, and I just, that's a lot of money.
Okay, and you want her to pay child support?
And I need that money.
Okay, she needs that money. You don't want to pay that money?
No, ma'am. Instead, I want to spend time with this child. She's not allowing me to see my son, Alex, for the last year and a half.
Okay.
I mean, I have an amazing 2-year-old son that I'm being denied access to see.
All right, guys, this one kicks off with a twist. 2 moms, 1 child, and a divorce in progress. Mrs. Armstrong wants child support from her ex, Miss Tally, who's been out of the picture financially. For 2 years, Armstrong says she's footed the bill, including health care. And now it's time the other mom steps up. But what starts as a routine request quickly hints at something deeper. One side's chasing money, the other's chasing access. The courtroom is quiet, but you can feel the tension building. 2 moms, 1 child, and a whole lot of unfinished business.
And I do not believe that I should be paying child support. Rather than I should be able to spend time with my son and actively be in his life.
Okay. Is there a reason you have not been allowing her to see Alex?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a reason for that?
Well, Judge, I feel like time is not money. And,
Well, stop. Hold on. It's not money. But you would agree with me that she is the mother, right?
Yes.
Okay. And would you want for her to deny you access to Alex?
Well, it would be
It's
different.
a yes or no?
No.
Okay, then. So, you do not have a reason to not allow her to see her son.
But she doesn't help me take care of my son.
Now, financially, we'll get to that in a moment. She's not going to have a choice if the child is living with you primarily. Is that what's
Correct.
going on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how often do you allow her to see him at all?
No.
Okay. Now that's going to change today.
Now Miss Tally speaks and drops a bomb. She doesn't want to pay child support. She wants time with her son, Alex, whom she hasn't seen in over a year. Her tone's sincere, her pain's visible. And suddenly, it's not about the money. It's about being cut off from her own child. But Judge Vonda B sees right through the surface. Because if Tally's been blocked from seeing her son, that's not just sad. It's a serious problem. This is where legal rights, emotional bonds, and personal pettiness all start to collide. And it's only heating up.
You do not have any authority to do that. You do not have it both ways. You can't say, I want her to pay this money, but at the same time, I don't want her to see our son. It doesn't work like that.
Well, once she starts paying me some money, then she can also start seeing the son.
Well, they don't go together.
Okay.
But the possession to a child has nothing to do with paying child support. You do not decide that. You understand? Okay, because in a different court, you could actually be held in contempt for that if you all had a court order and you were denying her access to your son. You understand that, right?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Now, as for you, you'll be able to see your son, but you do understand that you have to pay child support as well.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you do not have any objection to paying
No,
child
ma'am.
support. Okay, so you heard that, right? Okay, all right. So it seems like money is what's important to you, not necessarily her having a relationship with the child. That's right?
Yes.
And that's sad. And it's very sad that you admitted it.
Judge Vonda B isn't playing. She turns to Armstrong, who admits she's been keeping Tally from seeing their son, until she starts paying. That's when the courtroom tension erupts. The judge lays it down. Parenting time and child support are not conditional. You can't block a parent from their child just because you want money. It's a legal and moral no-go. Armstrong tries to justify it, but it falls flat. This moment isn't just powerful, it's personal. You can feel the energy shift as Judge Vonda makes it crystal clear. Your child is not a bargaining chip.
Okay, so you turned in some tax returns up here. I have your gross at $6,000 a year. And how many children? It's just Alex, right?
It's just one. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any other children outside of Alex?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So that brings your net down to $4,789.79 for one child. And then you do have to reimburse her health insurance because she's
Absolutely.
been paying it. You're okay with that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you don't really have a choice, so okay. Plus the 111 comes out to $1,069 a month.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am, it's Judge.
Okay. Why do you have this smirk on your face?
Oh, I like those numbers. Judge Rhonda. Judge Rhonda.
Sad.
The ruling comes fast. Tally gets access to her son, and Armstrong gets a harsh lesson in co-parenting. Judge Vonda shuts down the power play instantly, reminding everyone this isn't about hurt feelings or money leverage. It's about what's best for Alex. Armstrong admits money is her priority, and you can feel the judge's disappointment. The courtroom doesn't reward emotional blackmail. What's wild is how casually it was said. But Judge Vonda isn't casual about parenting rights. This segment flips the story. Now it's about accountability, not control.
She's not going to have to come back in here and say, you know, she's not letting me see my child or anything like that, is she?
So when she sees the child, do I have
that's
to
a
be
no.
around?
That's a no, because you're not going to do that, right? You're going to let her see the child.
Do I
Yes.
have to be around her when she comes? She has to come pick the child up, like for a weekend?
Yeah, however she picks him up.
Okay.
I mean, you guys have a child, so you should be able to be cordial with each other to some extent. You don't have to necessarily like each other, but
It has
you
to
do
be
need
able
to
to
let her
benefit the
see.
child.
Huh?
It has to be able to benefit the child. I mean, you have to look at Alex's best interest in his life. He needs both of his moms in his life. You can't just deny one.
What's the
I agree
least
with that.
amount of time that I can let her spend with my child?
You know what? We're not going to go there. You're going to let her see him, and that's the end of it.
Now we get to the math. Tally's income is $6,000 annually, netting just under $4,800. For one child, plus reimbursement for health insurance, that puts her support at $1,069 a month. And when the judge breaks it down, Armstrong smirks. She's satisfied. She got the money. But here's what sticks. The judge notices that smirk. It's a quiet but sharp reminder. Child support isn't a win, it's a duty. The numbers might be satisfying to one side, but the court sees the whole picture. And in this case, the numbers carry weight and consequence.